Sherrilyn Ifill leads the NAACP's Legal Defense and Educational Fund. The Legal Defense and Educational Fund at the NAACP is also marking this anniversary today by, among other things, reflecting on the progress toward police reform that has happened in the year since Floyd's death. The progress that has been made possible by the outcry and the protest that has happened ever since Floyd was killed. She said this today online. She said, quote, "Much will be said about where things stand a year after the murder of George Floyd. Did protests make a difference? Has anything changed? The answer is yes. Is there much more to do, and are we facing strong backlash? Yes, and yes." Joining us now is Sherrilyn Ifill, President and Director-Counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. Ms. Ifill, it's an honor to have you here tonight on this really big day. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Rachel.
Tell me about the progress that you see as having been made in the past year and what you think made that progress possible.
Yeah, it's important to take a moment and to recognize what shifts have happened because, you know, the truth is Black people are still being killed by the police. They were being killed by police during the, Derek Chauvin murder trial, after the Derek Chauvin murder trial. And so, I don't in any way want to suggest that we are out of the woods or that, the kinds of shifts that need to happen have happened. But I also want us to be clear about the fact that some really important shifts have happened. One of the most important, Rachel, is just in the narrative and the conversation that we're having about the nature of policing. We're now not just talking about individuals or even individual cities. We're talking about reimagining public safety. We're talking about should police officers be on mental health calls? We're talking about the need for supporting the kinds of social services that we have starved and used law enforcement in its place in terms of, dealing with the homeless and addressing issues of poverty and mental illness and so forth. So the whole conversation has shifted. But there's also been a policy shift. There are multiple states that have passed laws requiring duties of officers to intervene when they see misconduct happening. Multiple jurisdictions have ended qualified immunity for police officers, including New York City and Colorado and New Mexico. Maryland passed a huge bill ending the Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights and requiring transparency of records of police officer misconduct. And New York City repealed the famous Law 50A that prevented the disclosure of discipline records of police officers, and many more. There are jurisdictions that have removed schools from police. There are jurisdictions that have stopped police from engaging in certain kinds of conduct. There are jurisdictions that are now saying that mental health professionals will be the first line of defense for mental health calls. We don't want to forget that those changes are happening, and they happened because we saw the largest mass protest ever in the United States last summer.